Ladies and gentlemen, just of the interwebs out there, Sebastian NV, strong style, cinephile, and The Flash is back. Got a couple episodes to get to. Let's get to the first one and geek about it for a scant few minutes, because if you ever wondered what an Impulse and XS spinoff would look like, this episode was basically served that purpose. And I'm kind of wondering if, because we've seen reports on perhaps Grant Guston is negotiating for less episodes that he has to be in the next season. I believe Candace Patton negotiated for less time in last season. So I'm kind of wondering if this is what it's going to be, kind of like that episode last season where Barry and Iris went on vacation or whatever somewhere, and they were just in the beginning of the episode and in the very end of the episode, kind of bookended it. And basically they kind of bookended this episode. So I'm kind of wondering if that's going to be the formula on these episodes where they're not super involved in. Remains to be seen how all that plays out. But basically in this episode you have Bart and Nora. We see them in the past at the vow renewal. They go back to the future. They find out they screwed things up. They erased Joan, Jay's wife. Jay's still alive, thankfully, but they erased his wife, and they see some other kind of damage that they might have caused. So they decide to go back to the past, screw things up. Bart feels bad, doubts himself, gets a pep talk from Nora. Nora at one point in the episode feels not bad, but she feels she's not capable of saving the day. Gets a pep talk from Bart, and they save the day. Bart meets a girl and kisses a girl, and then they go back to the future, and everything seems to be hunky-dory. And that was basically the gist of the episode. Now, the villains of this episode were the Royal Flush Gang, who don't exactly form until like years down the road, but because of that screw-up that they have, because their mission was to save Joe and save him from getting shot. Things kind of screw everything. It's time travel. We've seen this multiple times on The Flash. That's the crutch of a lot of the episodes that have to do with time travel, is they do something, they screw things up, and they spend the rest of the episode trying to fix it. Basically this episode. So in their first screw up, the leader, the queen of the Royal Flush Gang, overhears them kind of bickering back and forth and just talking about metahumans, and it makes her realize, oh, there's more people out there like me. I should find them and team up and form this gang of criminals. That's what she does. They try to rob a casino, and that's where that's the main thing they have to stop. Save people, stop the robbery, save the day, reset the timeline. Cool. Pretty simple episode. I like the chemistry of the actors that are playing Bart and Nora is undeniable. The guy that they have playing Bart is just phenomenal in the role of Impulse, and just that impulsiveness, that brashness, that just run first, think later sort of mentality that he has. He just completely embodies it. Like I said, his chemistry bouncing off with Nora, I forget her name, the actress. She's great. She's just charismatic. She's got a fun energy about her, and mixing those two together makes for some good, fun TV. I just like their exchange, their brother, sister, sibling exchange. It's fun. Seeing them in action is how they kind of bounce off each other is fun. It's fun. It's different. And I think that's the big thing about it. It's different. I know it's the same Flash show and the same Arrowverse and the same sort of rules and principles and tropes and formulas and things that kind of shape and guide a given episode, but it was just enough of a difference to feel different and new, and just like it's feeding us something else. So all that being said, was this basically like a backdoor pilot to more Flash once the Flash with Grant Guston kind of comes to an end? Because there are multiple other speedsters. If they wanted things to continue, they could easily do it by subbing in, these two or any of the other litany of speedsters that are out there. Would they do it? Remains to be seen. I think that we're not going to get that. This was a fun little kind of what if sort of look at a possible spinoff, but I don't think we're going to get that, because like I said with Arrow, and the reason why Green Arrow and the Canaries wasn't picked up is just we were coming off 8 years of the Green Arrow. Even if you dressed it up with Mia, Smoke, and you added Black Siren and Black Canary to it, it's still at the core more Green Arrow, which we have seen and heard from and done for 8 years. the bloom was off the rose. There was no need to do any more. And if arguably the Flash has been on fumes for the past handful of seasons, so even if it was going forth with Bart and Nora in some sort of like spin-off, it's not needed. It's not necessary. It would just be ultimately not as good. Maybe like the first handful of episodes, maybe the first season would be just fun and just bang up because it'd be different. But at the end of the day, season 2 and multiple seasons on, they would run into the same problems that the Flash does, and the same things that we criticize the Flash for doing, the same sort of ways that they would deal with the villains, or that they would handle their powers, and how they would just nerf them and neuter them for just plot-based reasons and that sort of thing. Everything we got mad about the Flash, we'd be getting mad about with a spin-off. So I don't think that's going to happen, and it doesn't need to happen. We just need to have the Flash come to a nice, tidy end, hopefully at the end of next season. Remains to be seen if that's how they roll. Also, in this episode, got to see some more of Eddie Thawne. Rick Cosnett was back in the episode. This was early on in his partnership with Joe. It didn't really serve him well, I don't think. He was just this dopey, sort of slow, not being in on the joke, not being aware. I just didn't care the fact that he was in there. I mean, it was time travel, so of course we're going to see him. But I just didn't care. I wasn't moved, motivated. I didn't feel anything for him. But that was just the episode. Like I said, it was just a fun sort of backdoor pilot spin-off possibility type of thing that we're not going to see a spin-off of. That's okay. It was just a good, fun episode with Nora and Bart, who just are good characters with great chemistry, and it was fun to see them just do things because they're sort of fresh to us, to our eyeballs. We can tell our brains that this is fresh, this is new, this is cool, we should watch it, we should enjoy it, and I did. Past that, it is what it is. Anyway, those are some of my thoughts on it, scattered as they often are. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me on social media, talk to me there, talk to me here. Until next time, let us geek.